episode 5. So excited you're here. This week, the topic really solidified in my head as I was walking out of an old silver mine in Georgetown, Colorado. See, my family, so my little sisters, my parents, my wife and I, we all took this early Father's Day trip on this train called the Georgetown Loop, and the train stops at these different mines in that area, and you get to go explore with a guide one of the mines. So we ended up exploring this old silver mine. You hear about all the history behind it, and especially the lives of miners. And it got me thinking about purpose. So I'm listening to the tour guide talk about the tools they used and all this stuff, and what hit me the most was when I walked out of the mine, is that these men did not have the chance to explore their purpose in life. Because being a miner was an awful existence. You, on average, died around 36 because your lungs could no longer handle breathing with all the silica and dust and awful chemicals in the lungs from mining itself. And that's if you were lucky enough to survive explosions and broken bones and fights among different miners. Like, it was a brutal life. You're inside the mine for 10 hours a day, and they only give you 3 candles that last 3 hours each. So you have 9 hours of candlelight and 1 hour of darkness, which you would have eaten your lunch during that time. That is the epitome of claustrophobia, right? Not just physicalness of being stuck and trapped inside a mountain, but emotionally on an existential scale. It's terrifying to me. That is one of my biggest fears. And I started thinking about that, this fear of mine of being stuck and deprived and trapped in my own existence. And how unique it is, because for most people in most of history, the idea of exploring the things that you feel like are your purpose in life was really for the very, very privileged. You had the means and resources to explore those things, those ideas, and then hone in on it, and then master that craft and go forward with your purpose. And B, you had the mobility to do so. So there's this idea in my head that access to our purpose in life, our individual purposes and our collective purposes, is really a relatively new concept, and B, it's an incredible gift. It's a privilege to be able to do that, to go to college and explore these different majors that you have, and even explore these different minors and pick one and then hope that that leads to some sort of exciting career that you feel good about. And even then, most of us go through our majors and don't end up in the same kind of career field that we got our undergraduate degrees in. I got my master's degree in divinity, so I'm a master of the divine, which is a really arrogant title for a degree. I can really barely get my dog to do anything on command, and yet I'm a master of the divine. The point of that is to say that I was going to be a pastor, and that purpose got stripped away. I'm no longer in ministry. And I've explored that idea a little bit briefly on a Medium post that I wrote a few years ago, and there's definitely going to be more exploration of that and sharing of that later, not here. But the idea was that I was going to be a pastor. That was my purpose. And that got stripped away. It took me some time to re-find purpose. I'm still defining that. In fact, anybody that watches these videos, you are actually on the journey with me as I kind of re-hone and figure out, where am I going next? I love my job. I love my career in design. But ultimately, this career that I have, the job and the passion for design, is about people and seeing people thrive and connecting with people and communicating. YouTube is just a way that I get to express my purpose, which is to connect and communicate and hopefully help individuals and communities thrive. It took me some time to figure that out. I'm still figuring that out. These YouTube videos, they may fade into relative obscurity, right? I may never gain critical momentum on this channel, but I'm still gonna do it because it feels like my purpose, to hone my craft as a communicator through visual design, through writing, through spoken word. That feels like my purpose. And as I walked out of this mine, I thought about the privilege it is to be able to do that. Purpose is a privilege, it's a gift, and it's relatively new. And if you have access and mobility and agency to go after your purpose, it would be a waste not to. It would be a waste to all those around the world who are unable to go after it, to not explore it, to sleep in, to be comfortable in your life. Purpose is something that drives you beyond passion. You see, purpose is what you do even if nobody pays attention, even if nobody's gonna care, even if nobody ever watches these YouTube videos, or maybe I get like 50 views per video, I'll still try this. I will still work at it because it feels like purpose in my life. Now, I'm not saying passion, because passions are temporary. Passions are these exploratory phases we have, and they come and they go, and they are fickle. Passions are things that you pick up one day and you leave the next. Purpose is that thing that even if it breaks your heart, you will do it. Purpose is like sandpaper on your soul. It rubs against you if you're not doing it, because you are supposed to be doing something different. And so purpose is there just grating on you. Like, you are not supposed to be doing this right now. You need to move away from this. I think we've all maybe had those experiences. If you are able to, if you're lucky enough to pursue your purpose in life, please do it. Give it all you have. Go after it. You could be a miner in the 1870s and you have a lifespan of 36, but you don't. You're here now. And finding your purpose is really a unique experience. Now, purpose should not be confused with, I think, what we have right now in our modern lexicon, that this, I'm gonna change the world and I'm gonna go make billions of dollars. I'm gonna do these like grandiose things. It could be that. It could. Purpose could also be really local, really intimate to you. Purpose could be, I'm gonna be the greatest parent that I can be. Don't worry, mom and dad, nobody's having kids yet. Purpose could be as simple as, I'm going to be the best retail employee that I can be. There was a period in time where I worked at Apple Retail, and it was an amazing job. It really helped me in my recovery. I'm so grateful for it. And at the end, I felt stuck and stifled, and it was that sandpaper against my soul. Like, I should not be here right now. It was so hard to be there, but I have so much love and respect for the people that I worked with. There were a handful that are still at Apple. They made it, this is their mission, this is their purpose. They are going to be the greatest Apple retail employee that has ever been. And I think that they're probably achieving that right now. Purpose can be anything that drives you beyond passions. It doesn't have to be this grand scale, you make the next Facebook kind of thing. That's what's really fascinating about it. You can find purpose in your life and meaning in your life on the smallest of things. Of course, if you do have those big, grandiose ideas and you're not going after it, maybe it's not your purpose. There's a ton of great resources on how to find your purpose. If that's something you're interested in, we can chat about it more, DM me. Obviously, there's books like Start With Why by Simon Sinek, which again is taking advantage of this newness of purpose, that we all are curious and want to know more about it. That's a great place to start. There's a ton of other books like Essentialism that help. Brene Brown has some really great stuff to say. There's some fantastic resources. All this came out of walking through a silver mine, because I'm thinking about the fact that these men did not have mobility in their life. They could not explore purpose if they wanted to. I have that gift, and I'm so freaking thankful for that. So for you who are watching these YouTube videos, thank you for being part of my journey as I'm redefining my purpose after losing it 8 years ago. The needs of the world and the things that you're good at, that's where you'll kind of find your purpose, right? Like, there's these great needs that you could fill. And that could be done through the small things, it could be done through the big things, the medium-sized things. Whatever it is, though, you need to find that. And if you have the ability to find that, do that. And if you are in a position where you can help others do the same, please do that. It's such a gift. There is someone that I'd love to call out. I'm not even sure if he'll watch these videos, but his name's Vlad. And Vlad is the CEO of a company called Webflow. And Vlad, a few months ago, did this thing, essentially like a book giving drive on Twitter, where he gave a few books away and then challenge others to do the same, and it became this massive movement, and he's about to spin up another one. So if you're interested, follow Vlad on Twitter. A, he's got some amazing dad jokes, and B, this is a really killer idea. And so if you have agency and mobility in your life, but you're looking to help others do the same, this is a great way, practical way to start. That is this week's episode. It's about purpose. I'd love to keep exploring more on purpose and passion in other episodes. I probably will, because these are kind of shorter and these are really massive topics. If you like this, please like the video, share it, subscribe. Again, I'm building this out. I'm okay if it stays in relative obscurity, because I think this is my purpose, to communicate and love and care through and for others with these ideas. But it also helps to build an audience, and so I could definitely use help doing that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an awesome week. This has been episode 5. Check back in next Monday for episode 6. I can't wait to share what that has in store. Have a great week, y'all.